Good morning, Rabbi Isai. We're starting a brand new Mishnah. We have a few guests today. We'll introduce them soon. Last night, I just thought about this morning. It's good that sometimes you guys don't show up in the morning, Motzi Shabbos. We had 22 guests yesterday. 22. 20 came to the front. And there's 2 in the back that didn't want to come to the front. 22. So I was thinking, like, if everybody comes on the Shabbos, that's why Yishkoyach, for being considerate. That's us. And giving, yep. Yisroel Wettenstein, hi. Shia Porgus, on a trip to Poland, daffing away. Yishkoyach Reb Shia. Dear Belly, as a proud East Boca resident, this is East Boca Magid Shir, Arya Esterson. I was so excited to find out that the main NWIC in Nedarim will be taking place so close by. Winter break, the timing couldn't have been worse, for me at least. My wife and I are arriving at Yisroel on Monday morning, leaving Motzei Shabbos. What is the sheer schedule in RBS the next few days until you leave? We had a lot of inquiries. I am leaving Beis Hashem Tuesday night, so it's going to be a sheer Tuesday morning. So I guess Arya Esterson could come Monday, Tuesday. There's a Siyum Tuesday night here in Ramat Bet Shemesh, so you come to that as well. What time? I don't know. What time is the Siyum? 6:30. I will be there, Beis Hashem, for a little bit because I have to catch a flight, 11 o'clock flight. So we'll be there. When am I coming back? That we don't know yet. I know I'm going to be in Miami for 3-4 days, Colorado for 3 days. No shiurim in Colorado. Shiurim, but not live. And then I'm going to be in Los Angeles for like 4 days. But I don't have a ticket back yet. My kids want me to stay in Los Angeles for 6 weeks. I want to stay for 1 day. Guess we'll have to work it out. My father-in-law's son will be attending the Siyum in Miami. Yeshir continues to be my last review before I give the Daf Yomi in the morning. I'm one of the many people whose views get wiped out when the edited version is posted. With tremendous hakar satay for the daily shir, chizuk and laughter, Rabbi Arya Esterson, East Boca Magid Shir. Rabbi Isa here is Nachman Stofsky. From Nachman Seltzer's old CDG friend, Nachman Mostovsky. It says like this: Kaddish stories, how joining legendary Magid Shir from America's Daf Yomi, Eli Stefansky, don't talk during Kaddish program, brought Yeshua's Refuus exactly 9 months later by Rabbi Nachman Seltzer. By a forward by Rabbi Tzvi Koshalevsky. Where did you learn with him? By Rabbi Tzvi? What's CDG? They're building together. During the thousands of members of America's Daf Yomi who have taken upon themselves not to talk during Kaddish. This is a new book by Nachman Seltzer. The Rebbe Shita's idea behind the enclosed slogan is also to acknowledge Shitas Reb Nachman. This is just an idea for the type of slogan. You start with Kaddish, Hashem will help with everything else. Other folks might come up with better slogans and graphics to bring out the point. David Block, I've been doing the daf with the MDY since Brachas Daf Beis. Now I need the support of the MDY community. I'm presently in Shari Tzedek with a growth in my liver. I'm waiting for a biopsy on Sunday. I'm requesting from the MDY community to daven that the biopsy on Sunday should be the easiest treatable result. Please daven for David Shlomo ben Chayed Dvaira. David Shlomo ben Chayed Dvaira for Shlomo. That my whole experience should be successful and a time of great spiritual growth. I hope to see you all at the Siyum this Tuesday night. Welcome him. David Block attaches a picture of me learning the daf in the Beis Medrash of Shari Tzedek. Unbelievable. And here we have with us, he's here today, Yitzi Grossberg, the guy that gave me the bottle of wine while sitting in Lisbon, Portugal, waiting for a connecting flight. What does one do? You do the daf. Someone snapped this picture of me and somehow got to my son, who forwarded it to me. Your Talmud since Yuma. And I had the opportunity to speak to your wife last night, and she told me how this shir brought so much Torah into their lives. Givaldik. Dear Belly, today after you announced the boys' learning program, you reiterated the ultimate goal of MDY, that we won't stop until every Jew learns Torah every day. It didn't hit home for me until today. That is, what it's not about the daf, it's about the yomi really means. In other words, it's not just the daf. It's any type of learning. It's about the yomi. The simple, clear, and totally pure mission is one of the secrets of MDY's phenomenal success. The daf may not be for everyone all the time, but Hashem's Torah is. And we're all witness to how MDY brings more Jews closer to Torah every day. I'm going to need your help to back me up in a second. A close friend of mine who was having a hard time in life and not learning anything started the shir with Yavamas. By the end of the Masechta, he started by Yavamas. He felt he needed something different, and he connected to the slower paced shir that he loves, and he's still learning every day. So he reconnected with learning and changed his life because of MDY. It's Givaldik. It doesn't have to be Dafka the shir. It can be any shir, any Torah. Hashem should give you and your entire team the health, peace of mind, energy. Keep reaching higher and higher until every Jew is learning Torah every day. Thank you, Mati Stengi. Shkoyach Mati. P.S. When Owen Fix asked a question in shir today, and you didn't know the answer, you said that the Ran talks about it. That was a great save. But remember to switch back to Taisus talks about it for Nazir. Yeah, I was laughing on my account. Thank you. Shkoyach Mati. Didn't the Ran talk about it? Nope. So I reminded Mati that the coming Masechta Nazir is very similar to Nedarim. There's no Rashi on Nazir. And the issue over here, we have the Ran, and it flies. As you saw, I was able to read thousands of words in a couple of minutes. In Nazir, it's all Taisvus. It's that bit, all the Dapim. As much Ran as we have here, that's how much Taisus we have over there. So yeah, I'm going to be automatically forced to say Iron Taisus, so you're Mechaven. It's code, but I mean, yeah, Taisus talks about it. Go figure it out. Go look through the whole daf. If you can't find it by the end of this year, we'll talk. Rabbi Sai, here you go. There's a siyum in Lakewood. Guest speaker, Rabbi Shalom Rubashkin. And the Shvagers. That should be the new name for Eitan G. Eitan G said he didn't know what a Shviger is. He didn't know what a Shver is. So his band should be called the Shvagers. It's a nice new name for his new band. But anyways, it's already taken. mdycm.com to sign up. The Koilel sponsored by Anonymous from Lakewood. The second sponsor for the Koilel makes supporting Torah strengthen our bitachon. The Masechta sponsor is Zgul K'Torah and Tומכיה כיעקב ויעל. The Paras HaChodesh Lili nishmat Zechrya ben Moshe. Paras HaYoim should be Zoicha to Nachas the Kedusha and tremendous success in all my endeavors because Torah is. It doesn't say what it is. You do know. Torah is the best Sgula. L'zeicha neshamas my grandmother's Yarzeit today. Chaya Leah Bas Moshe Alea Shalom Chavtas Teves Shalitzka and Zeide. Rabbi Yואל ben Rabbi Yosef Zeche Tzak Devrocha Hashem Yinkim Damoi date unknown. May the neshamas have an aliyah and be Meiltz Yosher for all of klal yisroel. And by Mark Aschkenasy, lרפו Shlema for his good friend, a very young guy. They just got a very strong stroke. Yona Michael ben Adina Sima lרפו Shlema bekorov. The art of the month is sponsored for complete lרפו Shlema for Chaim Tzvi ben Leo. Tonight is the very, very first night of MDY Kids. We hope that's a tremendous success. Bring more Torah to klal yisroel, and Be'ez Hashem, many more of those programs around the world coming soon. Mamish, every day we get at least 4 or 5 emails about could kids in different cities join us. I don't know what the answer is. You decide. You, Avi's on a plane now. What? They could join. What, they could be part of the raffle? Satellite. They should make their own location. So they cannot join us. They could watch. They want to be part of this because they don't have a location yet. Why not? They could because they want to be part of the whole thing, the raffle, this, that. They could be. We should put it on Zoom. Everyone's been mishtav. The question is how to maybe the raffle part. So they won't be in the raffle. The raffle you have to be here. Okay, we'll talk about it a different time. Let them figure it out. Says the Elegant Mishnah. Sponsored by Yoel Friedman, leading Nishmas, my dear father. Chaim Avram Shalom Yeruchim Ben Yisroel Duvid all about Shalom. Daf Amud Beis on the bottom. V'neder almona ugrusha, and the continuation of the pasuk is Yakum Aleha. Think about it. If an almana makes a neder, then nobody can be made for it. Well, yeah, of course nobody can be made for it. Who can be made for it? Her husband is dead. Who else could be made for a neder? A father. But it's too late. Once she gets married completely, the father is out of it. So then what is the pasuk telling us? Says the Mishnah, the chiddush is this case. Ketzad Omra reid in Nazira la'achar shloshim yom. She was an almana. Doesn't have to be necessarily an almana, but let's say she's an almana grusha, and she says, "I'm going to be Nazira in 30 days." Here's a Nazir. You see, for all the new guys, you two guys, yeah, I can tell you didn't do nothing. Supposed to look. He sees. It's Nazira. A Nazira. I'm going to turn to Nazira after 30 days. Then she gets married within the 30 days. So she says, I'm going to be in a Nazira, let's say Rish Chodesh Adar. And she gets married in the middle of Shvat, Tu B'Shvat. So does it go, the question is, does it go by when she becomes a Nazira, by the Chalois, or it goes by the Amira? When she said the Neder. She said the Neder today. And today, she's not married, she doesn't have a husband, and she doesn't have the father, her father's out of the picture. So who could do the afara? No one. That's why the Torah says, Yakum. I just saw a very interesting Maisa, not related, Michal, but related to the word almana. Rabbi Yisrael Zibashstein Sefer said there was an almana that was a seamstress and made a kala wedding gown. And they came to try it on right before the wedding, and it didn't fit right. So the mother said, I'm sorry, we can't take it. We paid it, but it doesn't fit right. We're not taking it. So the almana said, okay. They went and they got a dress from another place that fit much better, and everything is good. The day of the chasana, the kala was schmoozing with her aunt, and they were drinking coffee, and the whole coffee spilled on the dress. So they had a great idea. There's a dress available by the almana. Let's go buy the dress back from us. So they went to the almana and they bought the dress. After the chasana, the mother went to her daughter and said, listen, tell me exactly, did my sister spill the coffee on purpose? And it turns out that the kala spilled the coffee on her own dress on purpose. Because she was upset at the mother that she did that to the almana. You can't start out with an almana like that. So, but Rabbi Yisrael says it was a big chutzpah what she did. She tried, it's gneva, that she owes her mother the money. Yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, she meant for the good, but the point is, you got to be careful with almanas. That was the point of the story, I guess. Fine. Oh, says the Mishnah, a guy from the shir told me today that his brother is married to a daughter of an almana, and anytime they read a shidduch to the almana, they say, so why don't you want to go out? Why don't? She says, no, I'm just waiting because the longer I wait, the market for widowers, how do you say, almanim and divorcees grows and grows. I'm just waiting for the market to get bigger. Nadra v'yibrishus habal meifirla. Huh? Nadra v'yibrishus habal. If she made a neder and she has a husband, meifirla. In other words, we go by the Amira, we go by when she said the neder. Kesad, top of the Tesam down. Amra rein in a zero la'achar shloshim yom. Again, I'll become in a zero in 30 days from now. Af al pishin is almino in his garage b'sloich shloshim harezim mufer. Since at the time of the Amira, again it goes by the Amira. So since at the time that she uttered the neder, she was married, so her husband has the right to be made for it, even though it took place, it became the chalois. Again, I'm not making up this word. I didn't find this in Pesach, which they used to use a lot over there. The Ran says the word chalois. The chalois, it works great over here. The chalois, I always stayed away from that word my entire life. But now, it's geschmack to say because the Ran says it. The chalois happens after the death of her husband, and he's not around to be mefer. It's okay, because it doesn't go by the chalois when it starts, when the Nazira starts. It goes by when she said it. And when she said it, she had a husband, and that husband has the ability to be mefer. Nadra boy bayoim, v'nizgarsha boy bayoim, hichzira boy bayoim, What's going on? Here. There was nisuin. They're completely married. Oh, so I want to show you, before I go over here, This, I forgot to show yesterday. Yoshi made this, I might as well show it. This is on the Yidei Ani, Sheyesh Mafir Naveni Desh is a Neder. It's on the Mishnah. The guy knows that there's such a concept called Afara, just he wasn't sure that this Neder has anything to do with him. It's in the category, because it has to be a Inu Nefesh or Dvarim Shebein Levena. He was confused. He didn't know if that fit the category. And here she is saying something, his wife is saying something, and he's confused. So we're going to use that picture here in small. Basically, there's a chuppah. So she's married. After the chuppah, she made a neder. And then they got divorced. And then he decided to get engaged again. All on the same day. There's a chiddush that even though it's in the same day. So, step one. Step one is she's married. Once she's married, what happens? Father goes bye-bye. There's no more father in the picture. If there's erusin, the Ran says, if step one was just erusin and she made a neder, then you can involve the father here. But the father's out of the picture because they're married. Now, the husband in step 4 is also out of the picture. Why? Because when she made the neder in step 2, then she got divorced. So step 4, now they're in a new relationship. This is already called kaidmim. This is a neder that pre-existed the new marriage. Yes, they were once upon a time married, but today we don't care about what happened once. That marriage is dissolved. There's a get. So the fact that they used to be married in the morning has nothing to do with us. Now they're starting a new relationship in step 4. There's a neder that pre-existed that new relationship. He cannot be made for that neder. So Nadra Boy Bayai means she made a neder after the Kiddushin, after the chuppah, the Nisuin. V'nis Garsha, that chuppah, Nisuin, is dissolved through a get. That's in step 3. Boy Bayai. Hichzira Boy Bayai, and then he gave her Kiddushin, Einoi, Yachol, Lahafer. Zeh klal. Now, anytime it says Zeh klal, it comes to add something. Because she was on her own, she was not married for one moment during that day. In step 3, now, just to review a little bit, when this kiddushin only erusin, could a husband be mefer? No. He could only be mefer together with the father. But the father is bye-bye already in step 1. There's no father anymore. That's it. For the rest of her life, the father's not involved once she gets married once. So Memela in step 4, even though it's just erusin, forget about everything else. The husband can't do it on his own.
Why don't they mention anything about ketora? Give us another option.
No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Hatar is not.
That's another option.
Do not look in the Ran. It's not in the Ran. Tanya. I'll say, look in the Ran. When I see somebody looking in the Ran, and then it gets up. I have a kasha. You got it from the Ran? Take the terrace from the Ran. I'm just guessing you got it from the Ran. I don't know. Tanya. Almana ugrusha sha'amra. Why is somebody calling me now? Oh, okay. Almana ugrusha sha'amra hareini nazira l'cheshe'enase. If an almana or grusha said, I'm going to become a nazira when I get married. She made it tonight. I become a nazira when I get married. Vini says, and she got married. So again, it's the same thing as we had in the Mishnah. There was an amira, and then there was a chalois. She made a t'nai on Sunday, a neder on Sunday. She made a neder on Sunday that had to do with the t'nai, that when she gets married on Monday or next year, then there's going to be a chalois, then the neder will take effect. But when she said it, she didn't have a husband. So we have a machloikis. Yofer. Why? Because Rabbi Shmuel is of the opinion it goes by the chalois, it goes when the neder is chal, and the neder is chal later on when she has a husband. So if she has a husband, the husband could get rid of the neder. Rabbi Kiva Omer lo yofer. Rabbi Kiva is of the opinion it goes by the amira, and the amira, she didn't have a husband, nobody can be mefer. Says Gemara v'simona yileili. Yileili is very, very simple. Here it is. Yud stands for yofer, lamed stands for lo yofer. So all these cases that we have and gonna have is yofer, lo yofer, lo yofer, yofer. Okay? Huh? It's a niggin. Yalili, 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 yofer, lo yofer, lo yofer, yofer. Da. Okay, I hear. It's a more niggin. What did he say?
You leave the singing to me, please.
Arise! He said I should leave the singing for Nachman Seltzer. He's using my medicine. This is what I tell David all the time. And again, I deserve it. You're right. V'simana yalili. Eishes ish omra hareni nazirah l'shes garish. A married woman said, I want the nazirus to be chal when I get divorced. Mamish a marriage. Be'ezer Hashem, I'm going to get divorced very soon. Hareni nazirah, then I'll become a nazirah. V'niz garsho, and she got divorced. Rabbi Shmuel oimer lo yofer. Rabbi Kiva oimer yofer. Again, because over here it's the opposite. Rabbi Shmuel says lo yofer. Why? Because it goes by when the neder is chal, and when the neder is chal, she's already divorced. There's nobody to be mefer. Rabbi Kiva oimer yofer. Even though it didn't happen yet, but right now she's married, and it goes by the amira when she said the neder, and when she said the neder, she had a husband. The husband can get rid of the neder. Oh, Rabbi Shmuel, I'll tell you why. He says, "Harei oimer v'neder almano grusha." The neder means the chalois. When the neder happens, the neder, not when it's said, but when it actually takes place, the chalois. Ad shia neder b'shas almanus v'gerushin. Up until there'll be a neder by almanus and gerushin. Rabbi Kiva sovar hareyu oimer, and Rabbi Kiva holds hareyu oimer kol asher osra al nafsho. It's the isser, the amira. When you say shalom aleichem, when you say the neder, that's when the neder takes place. She then it doesn't work if it was done by almanus v'gerushin, but as long as she's married and she made a neder, then the husband could be mefer. So comes Rav Chizda and says what everybody's thinking probably, that our Mishnah masnisi Rebbe Kiva. Our Mishnah must be Rebbe Kiva. Because our Mishnah says that it goes by the amira, and when she said it, she wasn't married. That what when she said it, she wasn't married. She didn't have a husband to be mefer. So even though she got married within the 30 days, doesn't work. Somebody told me yesterday. He says your voice is very raspy. It's true. Because I think because I give share every day, it doesn't cure. So it's an ongoing raspiness for the last 3 years. This is not my real voice. You have to go back to when I didn't give share all the time. Vamos. Who? What did he say?
His real voice was 2-speed.
Oh, my real voice is 2-speed. Donald Duck, yeah. That's why I don't sing anymore. It's correct. Abaye Omar says, Abaye, no. It seems like Rav Chizda is right that our Mishnah is Rabbi Kiva. But perhaps we could put Rabbi Shmuel in our Mishnah as well. I feel the Rabbi Shmuel. Masnis in Talia nafsha biyoyme. Our Mishnah is about days. In 30 days, this and this is going to happen. The Shiloh, what the gear says, Mishnah Talia nafsha bin isuin, shol mi yoyme v'len isgarish, shol mi yoyme v'len misnazba. In other words, when it's dependent on a stage in life, in some sort of being married, not married, and she remained in the same situation, so then it could be that Rabbi Shmuel will agree that we go by the Amira. That's what Rabbi wants to say. If it has to do with days, okay. But if it has to do with switching stages in life, going from being unmarried to married or married to unmarried, and she remained in the same matzav stage, then it could be that Rabbi Shmuel will agree that we go by Amira.
What do you mean she stayed in the same stage? In what way? When she's not married, she's not married, she's not at the same stage anymore.
No, when she's toila it in getting divorced, let's say, and she didn't get divorced, so now she's still in the same situation, so Rabbi Shmuel will agree that it has to do with Amira. You only change to a chalais when something changed in her life, but nothing changed in her life. Zeh klal. So we saw in the Mishnah, all the way at the end of the Mishnah, I mentioned that anytime it says zeh klal, it comes to include something new. Something different that the Mishnah doesn't talk about. Zeh klal. Why would I say this is the rule? We already said all the rules. So we had in the Mishnah, and now the Gemara just jumps to tell us. We had on Daf Ein Aleph, Zeh klal, kol shelo yotza l'shus atzma shachas. Remember, here's the case. Here's the case, the famous case. I like, from this entire case, I like the ring machine. That's my personal thing. You can buy a ring for a pruta. Here's lachluchas sitting there with a bunch of signs that say you can be mekayim the mitzvah of erusin and gerushin, all l'shma, and all proceeds go to the badats. So here they all line up. The bezin comes, the mouse flies through. Now you remember the story. Okay, great. And then it says, the klal is that if she didn't leave, if she wasn't on her own for a moment, then when it goes to the last one, her father and one of those 100 chasanim, the last guy, they are made for the neder together. But it says zeh klal. And the Gemara says, what's the klal? What does it come to tell us? Zeh klal l'ktani gabi naira merasa lasuye. It comes to include new halachas. Now what? Halachav im shluchei habal. If the father went together with the shliach of the husband. I need some volume here for a second. Nothing special, but just this. Here we go. There's shluchei habal. And now you have another case. The shluchei habal go together with the shluchei av, and now the father gives her over to the shlichim. Let me see if I can. Good. What's the point? The point is like this: when the father releases his daughter, what?
MDY Mario Brothers for the kids.
You never saw this one? You weren't here when it happened? It's probably Moses Shabbos. You never saw this? Oh, that's why they both didn't see it. These Chachmei Chelim. Oh, you didn't see it. Okay, good. Okay.
Mario Brothers Yomi, MDY.
And Bowser will be Rapsruli.
Who? I don't even know what this is. Now I'm going to get an email from Nissan Gans. The Streisand effect, the whole matzav. You can't. You mention the more you mention, the more this. Bro. Okay. Oh yeah, he's right. The klal is like this: when the father gives his daughter over to a shliach, that's it. He releases his control over her. If he's accompanying them, then she's still in his rishos. So that's all the Mishnah is trying to say. Is that klal that what? If the father goes together with them, no good. Then it's considered that she's still in the rishus of the father. And now the shlichim of the father went, she still didn't leave. In that case, the father and the husband still have control here. The husband has control because he's a aros. The father still has control because he never released her. Had he given her over directly to the shlichim of the husband and left, that's a different story. But because he's still involved here, I think Reb Shimshon Pinkut says about this Gemara, maybe he'll help me out the mashal. He says that this is a mashal to Asan HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that when you still hold on to the Gashmias, you're still holding on, you're Oived Hashem, but you're still holding on. You still have your father with you, not Hashem. In this case, it's the father holding on to his daughter. So you still have the newspapers, the different what's going on in the world. Our chavrusa, for instance, the certain things that you can't even imagine. He doesn't know who Bibi is. Let's say, like he knows, but he didn't realize that he's involved in politics the last 20 years. There's no clue. People, when you still have, you look at the Nayas, you look at the Diz, so you still connect. He talks about that's what I'm saying. What he says. So then you're still connected somewhat to that Gashmias, and then your relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not complete. In order to be married to your Oros, you have to have a complete disconnect to your father, to the shtusim that you had before. As long as he's still there, he gave you over to shliach, to this, but he's still in the background, then you don't have that complete relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So the Gemara says, so what about an our Mishnah? It says, it comes to say, once the father gives her over to the shliach of the husband, in other words, he gave her over to the husband, doesn't have to be the father, but the agents of the father gave her over, they passed her over. Now the father is not involved anymore. She'ein habal mefer b'koidmin. That's it. So now the husband can no longer be mefer because he needs the father, and the father's out of the picture. So now the husband can't be mefer either. Mosar Av, let's just do this 1 second. If the father got rid of her, that's it, she's gone. You see, the father stayed behind, so that's it. Now, the husband can't either be made for her original Nedarim, because for that you need both, the father and the husband. And the father's out of the picture, and Memela, the husband can't do it on his own. What's this? Oh, Master Shluchi Abal. Okay, got it. That's it. Oh, says the Eli Mishnah. Sponsored by Yoel Friedman, Nishmas, my dear father, Chaim Avram, Shalom Yeruchim Ben, Yisroel David. Allah Shalom. The Mishnah says there are 9 girls that you can't be made for the Nedar. Says the Ran, and this is very important to understand what's going on here, not to get confused. Says the Ran, there's only 3. It's three categories. There's a Yisaima. We all know the Yisaima. She doesn't have a father. No, it can be made for the Nedar. But Geres is easy. She reaches a certain age, 12 and a half usually. Simanim plus 6 months. Father has no control. Yisroel B'chayav is also very simple, and that is, if a father marries her off, even though she's a ketana, and she gets divorced or she loses her husband, that's it. She doesn't go back to her father. Even though her father is alive, she's considered a Yisroel, she's considered an orphan in B'chaye Ho'av. Now that we know those 3 categories, the Mishnah is just going to tell us things within those categories. Now, some of them are redundant. Some of them are literally not necessary. So why are they here? Says the Ran, he brings a Yerushalmi, Rabbi Yehuda said, could you come up with some cases? Let me hear. And the Talmidim could. It was a riddle. It's to sharpen one's mind. What are the 9 cases? So we start off with the first one, Yisoima B'chayav, the one on the right, the one in green. We're going to give 3 cases for that, 3 cases for the Yisoima, 3 cases for the Begeres. And you're going to say to yourself, obviously, I get it. We just said it. It doesn't matter. It's 9 cases. If she's already an adult, and she also lost her father b'chayav. This is Yisoima b'chayav, right? Because we're in the category of Yisoima b'chayav. So we're not talking about a Yisoima, that she lost her father. It means that she lost her husband. but she doesn't go back to her father because that's it. Once she's married, she doesn't go back to her father. Okay. So the point is that she's a yisroel v'chayav, but you'll add to that a begeres. And then when we have begeres, we're going to add to that yisroel v'chayav. So you didn't gain anything. It's not really 9 cases. Naira, ubagra, she was 12 years old. And then she became a begeres. V'yisoyma, and she lost her father. In other words, she started out in Naira. And then she became a begeres. What? She made the nether when she's an Naira. Peites Amud Beis, sponsored by Greg Haber for Bracha Parnas Hatzlacha for his entire family and everyone learning the Daf. And Hatzlacha for the members of HBA Group and their families. Obey. It's the last day. Huh? One spot available for next month. Naira Shaloi Bagra. If she remained in Naira and she's not a begeres, v'yisoyma. She's a yisroel b'chayav. Now, second category. Begeres u'meisavia. She's a begeres and her father dies, literally dies. Naira then becomes a begeres u'meisavia. First she started out as a Naira, then she became a begeres, then her father died. Naira shloi bagra u'meisavia. Okay, 3 cases. Another 3 cases. Naira shemeisavia u'meisavia bagra. After her father died, then she became a begeres. Begeres v'avia kayam. She's a begeres. A begeres is a begeres. Doesn't matter if her father's alive or not alive. You can't be made for a nedarim. Naira begeres v'avia kayam. She was a Naira, then became a begeres. Then, so of course, okay, going through all the cases. Rav Yehuda doesn't argue according to the Ran. Other Rishonim say he does, but according to the Ran, we go with the Ran. There's no argument here. Af hamasi bito yaktano. V'nis almana oinis garsha. So here the chiddush is that even though she's a ktana, she's a ktana. She still leaves her father's. Imagine a 10-year-old girl. She doesn't have a husband anymore. Her husband died also. So what now? What? She's still not in her father. She doesn't go back to her father's rishus. It's chiddush. Mazi b'ito ktana. V'nis almana oinis garsha. Chazer etzloi. Adini nara. Says the Gemara, Omer Rav Yehuda, Omer Rav, Zu divrei Rabbi Yehuda, Avachacham Ayrim, Shalish Naris Nedarim Kayamim. All you need is these 3 cases: Begeres, v'yisoyma, v'yisoyma chayav. In other words, forget about all the 9 cases. All you need is these 3. Says the Mishnah, the Elegant Mishnah. I'm not sure exactly what just happened. Huh? They're not arguing. They're not. They're just saying you could reduce it, make it easier. To 3 cases, and in those 3 cases contain all 9. Yo Friedman, Lili Nishmas, my dear father, Chaim Avram Shalom Yeruchim, Ben Yisroel David Allah Shalom. Koinem she'eni nehena la'aba u'lavicha im oisani al picha. I won't have any benefit from your father, if I do for you. Okay. See if there's anything here. This case. I don't want to have anything to do with my father if I have to do for you. Sheni, Nenes. What's the difference, Rabbi, between in-laws and outlaws? Very good. Shkoya. Outlaws are wanted. Somebody just wrote me yesterday, Bemis, I have to say, because it fits right in here. Said, why was Chava the perfect wife? Because of the Marishain didn't have in-laws. Tanya. Oh no. Sheini nenes l'cha im oisani al pi abba al pi avicha. Now this is the opposite case. It's the same idea though. Maybe. So the first case is sheini nehen al abba al avicha doesn't really have. Okay, even though I won't benefit from one person in the world, we said that's also a little bit of a problem. In Moisani al Picha, so it's like a Memanavshach. I can't do for you, which is Dvarim Shebein Leveino, if I can't do for my husband. So what do? I'm stuck here. If I do for my husband, then I won't be able to have an offer for my father. I want to have an offer for my father. And that's Inui. And if I don't do for my husband, that's Dvarim Shebein Leveino. Over here it's a little different. She'eni ne'enes l'cha, I won't benefit from you, my husband. Imois ani al pi abav al pi ovicha. So don't do for the father. If I do for my father, then I won't be able to benefit from you, my husband. So don't do for your father. The answer is, says the Ran, because she's going to trip up one day. It's a neder, and it's very interesting. The reason why you can do a hafara here is only one reason. Is because she's going to trip up. Since we know that she's going to trip up, so it's as if she did her neder already. It's as if she did it. Over her lifetime, one day she's going to give her father a cup of coffee. Something's going to happen. They're going to bump into each other at a wedding, and she's going to give him some benefit. And Memela, today, it's as if she was Mekayim the neder. So Memela, you could be made for right now today. Tanya, she'eni neheres la'abo ulovicha imani oisa leficha. Reb Nosson oimer lo yafer. So Reb Nosson says you cannot do hafara. Why can't you do hafara? Because the neder wasn't mekuyim yet. How can I do hafara for something that didn't happen yet? Chamayimrim yafer. You could do hafara. Based on what the Ran said, it makes sense. You could do hafara today because you're going to break it. I won't have any relationship with any Jew. And when we spoke about this earlier, it means her husband also. Because right now she's usher to the whole world. So what is she adding? When she says, I can't have anything from the entire world, it means to say, even her husband. If we have relations, then I automatically become usher to you. So now she's stuck. Now it's inu nefesh. She can't have relations with her husband because then she'll be usher on her husband. So Rabbi say, you know what? Before we stop, I just want to say, I've never done this before. I just want to say Shalom Aleichem to the guests. I didn't have it. I wanted to see if we can finish instead of sharing. What's your name, Tzaddik? David Perlman from? Staten Island, New York. Givaldic. Hold on, we had another one. More than. What's your name? Oh, you're Jacob. Okay. Yosef. Brothers? Oh, cousins. Cousin of that Jacob. And son of Simon. And you? You warmed up. I know you. From London. All right. Rabbi, I have a. Oh, your name. Sorry. What's your name? Lightman. Oh, yeah. You're looking for a ride, for your life. Well, from where were you from? Lakewood, New Jersey. Again, Lakewood. Who else? The Bachar is trying to hide. Good. Let him hide. Rabbi, have a wonderful day.